Hare Krishna. Have I shared the screen? Yes. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Welcoming you all to 18 days Bhagavad Gita course. So today we are taking up 13th chapter, right? Why am I not able to see anybody? Yeah. Just 1 minute. Okay. Pranati, Shaini Mathaji, you want to take a Pranati also? Are you confident? You can raise your hand in case if you really want to take, or anybody else. So, 1 minute, I'll just stop sharing. Okay, no problem. I didn't see your chat. We can start. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Yeah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes. So today, understand Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. That is a course name. We have come to that class. This is a level 1 course. Okay, so we are just going to see only the drops. Even the drops will be too much for us. Especially today's chapter is little philosophical. So try to grasp as much as possible. Not very, compulsion. But then it is there. It's a part of our lesson. So we need to learn. But we are all in a Bhakti marg. In Bhakti Yoga, this is not so very important. But then philosophically, people who are in Advaitic, following Advaitic principle, they learn this first. For them, this is the basic. So we need to learn that also because 13th chapter is dealing with it. So we will see what is taught inside. So now we have come to 13th chapter. And the title itself is Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Vibhaga Yoga. What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? And then nature, the enjoyer and the consciousness. So you can imagine, it is not that one Raja came and Raja went and battle, not like that. It is all mentally, you have to imagine so many things and then you have to absorb it. Try to absorb as much as possible. no harm if you can't, entirely if you can't understand also, don't get bored and all, but it is part of our, it's a lesson meant for that. Okay, based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, Abhay Charan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So it was a recap. Well, let's see what yesterday we did. It was a very interesting topic yesterday. I know. So it was bhakti or impersonalism. There are two people, I mean, two types of believers are there. One is arupa form. One believers believe God in a without rupa form. And they mostly are Advaitic, they follow Advaitic principles. And we are all Dvaiti. Dvaita means what? Double. I mean, Dvaita is two separate entities. One is Jivatma, the other one is Paramatma. So we are always the servitor of the Paramatma. So our bhakti starts right from the day one. When the moment you have come to Bhagavad Gita class first day, we ask you to start chanting. So that is how we need to keep on chanting, and chanting for not getting something. It is to please the Lord. So more you please Him, ultimately you're going to get everything. That's what we have been telling. Now He is waiting with the return gifts. But then we are not expecting anything out of that. But we are due to give Him so much, because He has given us such a beautiful body inside. Everything is working right. Even before we were born, we started working. Our heart started pumping. Our system started working even before we were born. And till date, it is still continuing. No rest, nothing. So only, at least for that, we need to thank God for that. And all other, so many, even outside we can see with your eyes, can hear, can speak, so many things, can think. Only a human being can do all that, and everything is given in a perfect place and shape and order. So for that, we need to keep on thanking Him, and japa is the best method. So yesterday we saw Arjuna was asking which set of people are the better, one who is following the personalism, or the one who is with impersonal form of God. And Bhagavan says, yes, person, you worship me with the person. You just keep, because you're all embodied soul. We will be able to correlate only a person-like figure. So you can correlate, you can see Krishna in a human form, and you can worship. And he says that. And then progressive stages of devotion, he says, from the highest order to the lowest. The highest is what? Full Ananya Bhakti. Just keep on remembering me throughout the day, 24/7. Please, that is not possible, come lower. Follow the principles, then come lower. If that is not possible, come lower. Like that, he keeps on giving us all options, but do bhakti, because I'm ready to wait. I'm waiting to take you all. I can't do partiality. Only if you pray, I can take you. But that if we can't do, then help us. He's just in every shloka he says, I'm Satyam, I'm making a Satyam, don't worry, Ma Suchaha. Every time he says, I'm there for you, don't worry, my bhaktas will never perish. Arjuna, tell everybody, my bhaktas will never perish. He is using all sort of words to assure us. But then there are still people who are hesitant to come to, to learn Bhagavad Gita, which is very a sad part. So we'll try to motivate them, what else, and we can pray for them. So that is progressive stages of devotion we saw. And then qualities that endure one to Krishna, which all qualities He likes in us. So that quality we must develop, and we should become the best friend of Krishna. Yes. And today, what are we going to say? Too much of philosophical words only. Arjuna is asking 6 questions. What is Prakriti? What is Purusha? What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Jnanam? And what is Nyayam? And Bhagavan answers. Krishna answers all these things. And he answers 3rd and 4th first. He answers Kshetra and Kshetrajna in the shloka 2 to 7. Then he answers, Krishna further answers question number 5. That is Jnanam. What is Jnanam? He is answering that. Then he is answering question number 6, that is Nyayam. And then 20 to 26, he is answering the Prakriti. See, this is only conversation, right? There's nothing like made up and he's saying like that, it is written in a piece of paper and dialogue. It's not like a drama. It has come out of its own. Only Vyasadeva has put it like a chapter wise. Otherwise, this is all said in 45 minutes. So in that 45 minutes, whatever conversation they did, he made it like chapter wise. And he made like 18 chapters, he made with 700 shlokas. But otherwise, it's just a conversation. So as he says, it has been given here. And last, what we are going to see is Jnana Chakshusha. Earlier we saw what? The 3D, what we saw? Arjuna is getting a 3D chashma, no? He is getting Divya Chakshusha. What is that? He is able to see the cosmic form of the Lord. But here now what he's saying? Jnana Chakshusha. Now all Jnana will only come. 13th chapter till 18 is how to develop Jnana. But through Bhakti. Bhakti will, without Bhakti, only Jnana is of no use. Bhakti has to be there in the main this, underlying thing is bhakti. On that bhakti, you will develop your jnana. Jnana means what? Knowledge. So jnana chakshusha, vision of knowledge. That is what we are going to see. Yeah, 14th chapter. Now this is important. Now people normally we say, so when you buy a storybook, you just see the preface. You come to know, oh, this is based on that story. Then little you see, then you see the end part, Oh, this is the end. So we almost know the story is what about. If it is very interesting, then we buy that book and we read. Okay. But like when you say bhakti is so very important, why bhakti chapter is not given in the last? Why it is coming in the middle? The first 6 chapters is talking about karma yoga. What is a karma means what? Action. Through bhakti, you make all the action, and the middle 6 chapters is really, talking about only bhakti, how to do bhakti, how to do bhakti. And the last 6 chapters talking about jnanam, how to develop knowledge. If somebody may ask if jnana, bhakti is so very important, why it is not kept in the last? Normally, that is how it is done, preface and the end part they give. So here that some people may get the doubts and all. So here all the questions are there. If bhakti is a culmination, why is jnana presented in the last 6 chapters? So the reply is, in truth, the entire Bhagavad Gita is bhakti only. Without bhakti, you will not understand what is Bhagavad Gita. So with the you got bhakti as a main fulcrum, you need to understand everything. Then the first 6 chapters discuss how to achieve bhakti through work. That is karma yoga. Then the last 6 chapters describe how to achieve it through knowledge. But bhakti has to be there. The middle 6 chapter discuss bhakti itself. Also in the 12th chapter, Krishna explained how he personally delivers his devotees from birth and death. Yesterday we saw in length and how we can do all that bhakti and we can come out of it from this vicious cycle of birth and death. So the last 6 chapters provide a philosophical knowledge. A little more of philosophy will be there, necessary to extricate oneself from the material world. Yes. So jnana has its use in assisting our detachment from Maya and our attachment to Krishna. The knowledge we should gain to be away from Maya. So only bhakti is okay. Bhakti is just show bhakti towards Lord. Love and devotion we can always do. But you should have the knowledge with what is Maya and what is which is not Maya, which is Maya, that we need to, bifurcate. We need to know the difference. So the jnana is important. The knowledge is important. That's why it is. So only if you know that knowledge, you can be detached from the Maya things. Things are created by Maya. And hence, when we use knowledge as a means to attain devotion, it becomes a part of bhakti. Okay, let's start the class. Om Shri Krishnaya Paramatmane Namaha Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga Atha Trayodashodhyayah. Trayodasha is 3 and 10, which is 13. It's given here. I will just read. Arjuna Vacha Prakritim Purusham Saiva Kshetram Kshetrajnam Evacha Etad Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Yeyam Cha Keshava. Then Bhagavan replies, God, it's gone down. I need a book there. Oh God. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramithya Vidiyate Etad Yoveti Tam Prahu Kshetrajna Iti Tadvidaha. Yeah. So Arjuna is asking Prakriti, Purusha, Shaiva is what? Cha eva. We have in English and also, I know. So the same way in Sanskrit also we have different words like cha and eva also like that. So he's asking, and also Kshetranyam, eva cha. Here is cha eva, nyampe eva cha. And also he wants to know, Etad Veditum Ichchami. I need to know about it. Ichchami is I wish to learn about all this. What? Jnanam Nyayam Cha Keshava. Even Jnanam Nyayam also I would like to know. So the 6th question is posing. And so Arjuna is saying, oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti. What is Prakriti? The nature. So what exactly is nature? Purusha. Who is Purusha? Whom we call as Purusha. That is the enjoyer of this Prakriti. And the field, the place where all activity is done. And the knower of the field, who knows about it, who understands that field. And of the knowledge. And what is knowledge? What exactly is knowledge we talk? And the object of knowledge. What are we going to learn? Okay, subject, one subject will be there. In that, what are we going to learn? So to achieve that, this aim, what is the aim of knowing that knowledge? As Bhagavan is saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead says this body, O son of Kunti, is a field, is called the field, our body, because when we say, we are all soul. We are not talking about the body, we are all the soul. And the body, we are holding each body, each one is having a different body. That is the kalam. Kalam means what? That is a field of activity. So soul, as a soul, it cannot do anything. It need to take a cow form or a swan form or a sheep form or a human form or a peacock form. Some form it has to take. Then only it can do. And as it takes the form, accordingly, he will have his ears and nose and 4 legs or 2 legs or 2 hands, everything. Can have, if I was to be born as a dog, I cannot smile. If I'm happy, I can only wag my tail, right? But because I'm a human being, I can smile, I can show my teeth, I can show my anger, I can show my happiness, everything is done because the human being is able to do that. So according to the rupa, according to the this form you take, you express your emotions and all. So everything is done in this body. So this body is called what? Field. And one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. Somehow I could read because it's gone down. It's my mistake. I elongated this picture so that way. Okay, so here all the question and answer is given. So Prakriti, see, it's a very familiar word. Prakriti is nature. That is material nature. Purusha is what? Enjoying. Who is enjoying that Prakriti? Who is enjoying? We only. We are only so much, right from birth, we are breathing the air. Are we paying any rent to the Lord? For so much oxygen I took. So I need to give you something. No, we are not bothered only. At least abhi se to japa karo, like at least as a, we need to give him back something. So we are all enjoying, not only air, we are taking water from it. So many, we are built our house on the land of Prakriti, I mean this universe, I mean the land of whatever, earth. So on that earth only we are building a house for in our name and we are saying this is my house. But the space is whose? God's only. This is not our permanent address. Permanent address is Bhagwan Ka, and we all need to go. But then what we do? By false ego, we say this is mine, this is ours and all. Okay, then Kshetra. I just explained what is Kshetra. This is body. Our body is the Kshetra because that is a field. That is the place where we do all the activities. With this body, I can, show my hands and express and my eyes, everything I can see, hear, everything I can do. Then Kshetrajna. What is that Kshetrajna? Observer in the observer in the body. So knower of all the bodies. That is what is called observer of the body. So the one who knows the body is the Kshetrajna. Then Jnanam, that is called knowledge. And what is that knowledge? Understanding Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Who is the body? What is a Kshetram? That is what is a place. And to know who is enjoying it, that is Jnanam. That is the actual knowledge, not our history, civics and physics, chemistry. That are not actual knowledge. That's what Krishna says, and I am not saying. He says that is those knowledge is not actual knowledge. This is knowing Atma and the difference between the Atma and Paramatma and the difference between the body and the soul. These are the actual jnanam we need to have. These are the actual knowledge we should have. Then Nyayam, goal of knowledge. After learning that after knowing that knowledge, what? We are reaching Paramatma. We have to go back to Godhead. So once you know all this Nyayam and all, then we are reaching the Paramatma level. Yes. So it is like a field. It's compared to a land. Okay. So body, knower of the body, knowledge, object of knowledge, nature and enjoyment. So body when utilized for spiritual advancement is like utilizing our land for the best and most expensive crops that would yield maximum profit. So a farmer knows, like if it is a rainy season, he will sow such seeds which will grow in rainy season, which is suitable to grow in the rainy season. And he sees the soil and all, black soil, red soil, accordingly he will sow the seed. If it is then next summer comes, then he will change the crop and he will see that the land gives maximum yield so that he gets benefited. The same way our body is also like that. We are not utilizing actually. We should use it, put it to use in such a way, spiritual use, okay, spiritual advancement. We should use it in such a way that we can really do advancement in that. So body when utilized for spiritual advancement is like utilizing the land for getting the most expensive and bountiful crops. So that would yield maximum profit. It has been compared to others. Okay, now what is nature? Yeah, what is Prakriti? This is nature. Air, then sun, and what? Rain, trees and mountains, sky, all this. This is Prakriti. Everybody knows. This is Prakriti. The next question he says, yeah, who is the enjoyer? Who is enjoying that Prakriti? We, the Atma. So this is Prakriti. The Prakriti who we are all using the Prakriti for air, for water, and also who is using it? The Atma as well as the Paramatma. Paramatma is also, God is also using that. Then what is body? What is the body? This is the body. So Kshetram, we say Kshetram. Kshetram means what? Body. Once the soul plays in some particular kind of body, he comes under the control of nature. This is the control of nature. The three gunas, three modes of material nature. It comes under the, as long as it is an Atma, it doesn't get affected. It is like magnet and iron particles, The moment we take a body, because being a matter, it starts affecting us. Either Sattva-guna or Rajo-guna or Tamo-guna keeps like a puppet, it keeps, holding us and make us do everything. All the activities are done because of those gunas. So he comes under the control of nature because the body being matter acts according to the laws of nature. This is the laws of nature. So we have to act according to Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Sattva-guna. At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. We are all puppets. We are puppets. We are in the hands of the material mode. So we act accordingly. So at 9 o'clock, you're all coming in. Actually, you all may be feeling sleepy. Tamoguna must be telling you all, no, you're so tired, whole day you're working, go to sleep. But the Sattva-guna pull is so strong, then you incline to go towards Sattva-guna. No, the Sattva-guna is saying like, no, you attend the Bhagavad Gita class. Even at 9 o'clock, 10:30, you people are all awake and saying, Jai, Jai, and all that. I can imagine the Sattva-guna is so strong in you all. So normally people are not awake at this time, but then you chose at 9 o'clock because you want to learn. You are, after a whole day's work, you're showing still interest in spiritual things. That's why you've chosen. So the Sattva Guna is so strong in you. That shows. And that's very good, Sattva Guna has to be strong. So at that time, the living entity has got no choice. This will pull, some mode of nature will pull, and we have to go according to that. Now, who is the knower of the body? Kshetrajna. We are all body, okay. And who is residing in our body? Atma and Paramatma. So who is knowing our body? Both Atma and Paramatma. So it is given as a depicted as two birds sitting in a branch, like in our heart. Paramatma is also there. Atma is also there. Atma is there. It understands our body. And then Paramatma is there in all the bodies. Is the same Paramatma residing in all the bodies. So who is knowing of the body? Not only Atma. Atma definitely will know about the body because it is taking each Janma, it is taking one body. So it will definitely know about our body. Paramatma also will know about our body. It remains but it is a silent spectator. It just sanctions and he's like a proof. He's just watching whatever we are doing. It will not stop us from doing anything bad or good. Because it will be just a silent spectator and watching, and he will sanction also. He will not stop us. Even if we want to kill somebody, go ahead. He will not stop. He will just sanction. But he is a witness also. So that is how Paramatma is in our heart. So our Atma is there within the body, and Paramatma with four-handed form, and it has been depicted as two birds in our body. Yeah. So how this Atma is, body is made up of Panchabhuta. That is 5 elements: air, earth, fire, water, sky. Because once the Atma goes out of the body, once the soul goes out of the body is of no use. It just decays. In fact, it decays. The Atma doesn't come back. It's not like the car and the driver, that example we had shown. At least the driver will again come inside and he can drive the car. The car cannot go off its own. So the body cannot move without Atma's support. Atma has to be there. But in the car, for example, the driver may go out, again he will come in and he can drive. But once this Atma goes out of this body, it doesn't come back. And the body decays. It doesn't stay even doesn't stay healthy. It decays. So all these 5 elements will start decaying. But Atma is how? It will always be alive. It cannot be destructed. Second chapter, you have to remember. All these are all revision only. But then still once you know those things, 13th chapter will be still more easier. So this is how Atma is. You know the size of the soul. the tip of your hair, cut it into 10,000 part. That one part is how small or big you think. That is what soul size. So knowing the difference between matter and the spirit, Atma and body and Atma. So what are the object of knowing? What is the object of knowledge? What is the object of knowledge? What are we learning about and where are we going heading towards? That is called Neyam. So who are we? Whatever we see outside our body, it is like only a dress on the soul. Our body is just like a dress on the soul. Like on the body, we are again putting a dress. But this body itself is a dress to the soul. So that whatever we see, it is called gross body. And there is another layer inside, which is called subtle body, which cannot be seen. It is called Sukshma Sharira. Okay, in Sanskrit, they say Sukshma Sharira. This is Stula Sharira. So this is gross body. Within that gross body is subtle body. And in the subtle body, see, gross body, you know, is just air, water, fire, and all that. 5 elements. In the subtle body, what is there? Mind, false ego, and intelligence. The consciousness level is there. No, see, when somebody's, if you have, I mean, shiny, just now we just talk to you. So somebody's calling me, immediately you look. Somebody's calling me Lalitha, then I will look. Because I know, I'm conscious that that is my name. Somebody's calling me, right? So that conscious principle is there, no? That is what is called, that is all residing in where? Subtle body. Nobody can see it. It is only you can feel it. Mind, false ego, and intelligence. Within that is soul. And so this, I mean, soul is what? Always Satchitananda. Like Bhagavan Kam and Satchitananda. Same quality we have because we have all come from the Lord. We are, he's Bija Pita. Tomorrow's lesson, I mean, tomorrow's one shloka comes with that. He is giving us the seed. He is the seed giving father. So whatever quality he has, definitely we'll also have. Right? So he is Satchitananda. We are also Satchitananda. What is Satchitananda? We are eternal. Satyam. We are all always true. We are there. Without Atma, it is not there. Like Atma is born today, tomorrow it won't be there. No, it is always there. When it was born, no idea, it was always there. And sit always in conscious state. And Ananda, always it is happy. Soul can never remain sad. Only we as a body, we are making it sad. So whenever we feel morose or not good and all, there is imbalance between your soul and yourself. Yourself means the body. We are not making it happy. Why? Because it is longing to go back to Godhead. It likes to go to temple. It likes to hear Bhagavan Kirtan and Nama Japa and all. It cannot say. So it needs the body to say. But as a body, what we do? We'll sing film songs and we would like to see films and other video games and all. But we don't go to temple and so the soul becomes unhappy. But when you do chanting, like 108 times you do chanting and open your eyes, it's so nice, blissful you feel. Go to temple and come. What some great, you cannot explain what happiness you get. Any temple you go or anything like temple ho, yeah, any other God related place you go, I mean, you feel very nice because the soul wants that. We are all in a cage, a parrot in a cage. So, but a lady who's just painting the, I don't know when it is given, in children class it is given. That lady wants to keep the cage very shining. She just put golden color thing and all. But parrot is dying inside because it also needs food, no? And what is the food? It doesn't want carrot or all that what they give the parrot. It doesn't need that. It needs only Hare Krishna Nama Japa. Just say as much as God's name, it feels very happy. And that happiness is seen on our face. Happiness seen on us. We smile and we become very happy. Everything looks positive and all. So that is how we are. We are all Satchitananda. We and the soul. Now, then when the body dies, okay, again, we don't die. When the body dies, this subtle body and the soul goes out of the Sukshma Sharira, Stula Sharira again, sorry. The gross body. The gross body falls, it is of no use, and the subtle body and the soul goes out and it enters to some other body. It can be animal body, bird body, worm body, or a human body. It depends on our karma. That is what we have been learning all these days. So this is how the thing goes, okay? Yeah. So two knowers, 1 minute. Difference between soul and supersoul. We'll just read the difference. Soul and supersoul. Living entities are known as Jivatma. God as maintainer is known as Paramatma. We are all like Anu, small Jivatma. He is Paramatma, big. Okay. But in our heart, he stays in as a small form. Then infinitesimally small, very small. Anu. Size of the soul is 1 upon 10,000, the size of the tip of the hair. Then he is what? Infinite, Vibhu. We are Anu means he is Vibhu, very big and large and everywhere, pervaded everywhere. Then individuals cognizant of one's own body. He knows of the Atma, Paramatma, Jivatma knows about this body. This I as a body, Atma doesn't know about any other body. I know only about my body. And the Paramatma is there in everybody's body. He is cognizant of everyone and everything. That is supernova. He's super Atma and he's super soul and supernova. The soul is secondary. We are secondary to Paramatma, secondary proprietor of one power for one body. Analogy is citizen as the proprietor of one land. We will like a king is there. Everything is owned by him, but we are also owning that land. Means what's the government? We can not have to go to king's level. Government, we own a land, but then we pay taxes and all because the land is owned. The original owner is the government. Okay, so we need some tax or some, we keep giving. So that is, we are only the secondary owner. The same way, this body is, we are the secondary owner of this body. Who is the primary owner? It's Paramatma. Super soul is the supreme proprietor of all the bodies, not only our body, every. Analogy is king. Oh, king, king is the proprietor of all lands. Yampi is only the land what we are owning, but we need to pay the king some tax or something we need to give him. Then soul is the secondary controller of senses. Same thing applied. We are not the primary controller, we are the secondary controller of the senses. Analogy, citizen are the secondary controller of activities. Then Supreme Lord is the supreme controller of senses. That's why he's called Rishikesha. He's the controller of senses. Analogy is what? King is the original controller of activities. We are all fallible. If we make mistake, that is there. That is a what human we are all manufacturing defect. We have to make mistakes. So we are all fallible, but God is infallible. Then a loving servitor, subordinate. We have to do service to the Lord. And Paramatma is what? Eternally a loving master. You need not have to serve anybody. He is always a master and we need to, serve the Lord. Then the last one is innumerable living entities. There are plenty of living entities will be there. Not only human being, that is only one species. Like that, 84 lakh species are there. And who is Paramatma? Those super soul is there in every heart, in the heart of every living entity. And within every atom, still there is only one super soul. He is not plenty. It's only one super soul. So these are the basic which we have been learning from second chapter. But still recap time. Okay, we will go to the shloka. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayo jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. This knowledge is the actual knowledge, he says. Oh, Skyana Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower of in all bodies. Like three people are shown here. He has an Atma, this is another Atma, this is another Atma. But what about Paramatma? He's the same Paramatma in all the living entities. And all the men, women, all the, Kida Makoda, everywhere. So he is there in all the living entities. So you should understand that I am also the knower in all the bodies. And to understand this body, and its owner is called knowledge. And your understanding about the body, and that is the actual knowledge. This is my opinion. Matam mama. Matam means this is my opinion. So that is the knowledge, and not history, geography, what we have been learning in our school days and all. That is okay for vyavaharik purpose for college, then go to take up a job. That time they won't see the Bhagavad Gita, how much marks you got, whether you got certificate in 18 days. They don't ask. They ask how much percentage you got in PCM, PCB. Accordingly, you'll be praised. For all the NEET exam, so many competitions. So for that matter, yes, we can learn. But actual subject, actual knowledge is this, which will not get destroyed. It will always remain. Even it carries into the next life also. That's why it is permanent. Rishibir Bahuda Gitam Chandobir Vividai Pritak Brahma Sutra Padai Shaiva Hetumadbir Vinishitaihi. That knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writing. Many people have written all this, that they write no sutram, that, this, and not. In many books, they have written about the field of activity, who is the owner of the field, who knows the field, and where the soul stays and knower of the activities and all that. All these things have been written by various sages in many Vedic writing. It is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect. They always talk about cause and effect. This is the cause of having this effect. So they They won't get involved. See, Vedantam is all like, they will not involve God in everything. They'll just see practically. It's like scientifically, they will prove in such a way that this is the cause, that's why this is the effect. This is the cause, this is the effect. That is how they preach. But we don't follow that, okay? So this chapter is a little different away from what we normally do. So very difficult to understand, grasp also, but we will have to learn. Because like I said, 13th chapter is talking about that. So now, we have another layer of bodies, okay? It is only knowing Brahman, knowing God, not layer of body. It is Brahma Pucham, 5 stages of realizing Brahman. What is Brahman? That knowing the basic Bhagavanka stage, like Arupa stage, it has only light, so knowing that. So first is Annamaya, Annamaya Kosha, we say, that is bodily platform. Any living entity, it will always go and seek for something to eat. You take an ant, it will just hunt somewhere. Anyway, some sugar is fallen, it will track and it will go and find out the place, right? So any living entity, even a small baby born, if it cry, just give a little drop of water or milk, he'll sleep. Because enough, it goes inside. So that Annamaya. So we realize that Annam is very important. Annam is what? Food. Food is very important to survive. So that knowledge we get. So we feel, yes, that food is God. So we are realizing God because through food. So this is all a body made of food, which is flesh and bone is made. Like stomach. Okay, that is a different subject. I added, but then now we need not have to say. Then next level is what? Once you know this Annamaya, slowly you get knowledge about Pranamaya. Oh, not only Annamaya, not only Annam. Just having food is not only sufficient. We need breathing also. This Prana. Prana is what? That is also important. We need to breathe to survive. So this is body composed of energy. Our life force of Prana flows through the bloodstream, lymph, and nervous system. Some doctors may know about all these details. Lungs and heart, air. Okay. Then after that, what you get evolved. After once you know, Annamaya, Pranamaya is like, this Prana, the goddess. I'm breathing thanks to God. He's kept me alive and all that. Then it's Manomaya. Then you start having thinking about the brain works. Brain starts working. You have manas. We say no, man, that. So Manomaya and Jnanamaya. You start with intelligence, you understand things. Mental platform. This body is made up of mind, our perceptions of the world. It is a home of the ego, emotions, behavior. Slowly we develop that. Then comes, it's not very important, but then just learn it as it is. Then Vijnanamaya, then intellectually you learn, not only with the mind, then with your intelligence, you understand more about the Lord. The body of wisdom, knowledge, values, beliefs, and sense of right and wrong, everything that you develop, when you keep reading scriptures and all, you come to this level of Vijnanamaya. And the ultimate thing is what? Anandamaya. After all this, you reach such a state, spiritual platform, where the body of consciousness, the most subtle body, is the bliss we experience as one with cosmic consciousness. See, superficial, if you see, you will not understand anything because nothing we can conceive of this. Can you see something and understand? No, these are all like philosophically, like mentally, you just develop some understanding. You have to understand. Okay, you may get names. What is Panchapucha? What is it? Panchapucham. Brahmapucham, sorry. Brahmapucham of 5 stages of realizing Brahman. So they would have given, so make it in order. I mean, this is basic. What you need to know is Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, or Vijnanamaya. Then Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. This is what we have to learn. Yeah, this is given in Krishna book. I'll just read. I don't know how much you will understand. So this chapter itself is, for me, it took a lot of time to understand. Okay, each word. Even today, I'm learning. Even frankly, I'm saying, even today, every time I read, I get new things to learn. Then I feel, oh, till last month, I did not understand. This one I'm teaching. So let me learn this also. Again, next one, when I teach, I'll get some important points. Oh, this I didn't learn. No, oh, suddenly I came on my site like that. I think. So this is given in Krishna book. We have the Krishna, that book is written by Srila Prabhupada. So contains very good book. We all can buy, or it is there online also. Veda based online, you can read those books. In the phenomenal manifestation, there are 3 stages: the stage of consciousness, the stage of semi-consciousness, in dreaming, and the stage of unconsciousness. So when you go to sleep, you're awake, you're aware, you're going to sleep, close your eyes, you're awake, so consciousness. Then slowly go into a dreaming state, where it is semi-conscious. You're seeing the dream, You know you're on the bed, but you're seeing something very interesting. You just carry on, carry on, carry on. Then you just forget everything. Then you become unconscious. You're in that world only. You're in that what Swapna Loka. That stage is called unconsciousness. These are all Advaitic principles talk on these subjects only. This is all too much for us to understand. For us, see the Naam Japa Karo and just finish it off. Okay. Then, but your lordship is transcendental. It's written, whatever is written there, I'm just reading. But your lordship is transcendental to all these different material states of existence. You exist, therefore, in the fourth dimension, and your appearance and disappearance do not depend on anything beyond yourself. You are the supreme cause of everything, but of you, there is no cause. There's no reason for you to come to this world. There's no, from where you have come, no, we don't know. You just come of your own accord and go of whatever action you do, it's all because you will it, you wish for it, and you do it. That's all. You yourself cause your own appearance and disappearance. Despite your transcendental position, my lord, in order to show your 6 opulences and advertise your transcendental qualities, you have appeared in your different incarnations, like Matsya avatar, all so many avatars it takes, no? Fish, tortoise, boar, Narsimha, Keshava, and others, by your own personal manifestation. And you have appeared as different living entity by your separated manifestation. But your internal potency, you appear as a different incarnations of Vishnu. And by your external potency, you appear as a phenomenal word. That's all. So not beyond this, we will not read because too much to grasp it. So this is given in Krishna book. So entire Krishna book is not like that. It is all story, pastimes of the Lord. So you can go through that. This is related to the subject, so it is put here. One more philosophical topic is there. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktam evacha indriyani dashaikam cha panchendriya gocharaha ichadvesha sukham dukkham sangatas chetanadritihi etat kshetram samasena savikaram udahritam. So I think this we have taken, no, in the chapter 4, I think we have done. Yes. So the 5 great elements, this eyes and nose and ears, hand and mouth. This has been controlled by the mind, and the mind is so these are the weaker one. Okay, mind is stronger than the senses, and still more stronger than the mind is our intelligence. With our intelligence, we can hold the mind hard and and control our senses. And who is the actual owner is who? We ourselves as a soul. We are sitting behind and we are controlling everything. We are the owner. So this is how it's shown. So in detail, we'll go further. The 5 great elements, false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, the mind, the 5 sense organs, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. So we are all doing our activities, and this is the field, all these things are there. Very difficult to conceive it, what exactly they are saying, but then learn it as it is. If you people have already learned about Vedantam and all, no, Vedanta philosophies and all, it will be easy to understand. But still, it is given. It's called Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya means what? Sankhya we say no in Hindi. Sankhya is what? Numbers. So this is all according to numbers. They write and they try to put everything in what do you say? Like physical things, like this is so much, this is so much, this on this is there, this is there. See, in Bhakti Marg, we don't do anything. We just close your eyes and pray, Lord, enough. We need not to know all these things. That is how ours is a very simple procedure. So here, what is Sankhya is given, we will learn. Sankhya philosophy or Sankhya Darshana. Okay, Sankhya means number. Sankhya philosophy deals with the number of realities that are present in existence. We find reference to the school, that is the philosophical school. Reference to the school in scriptures such as the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Upanishad. In everywhere you can find this, you can explain Bhagavad Gita in philosophical terms also. Luckily, Prabhupada has not done that, so we are able to understand. Otherwise, if we do philosophical, from the first chapter, we will just close it. Oh, not apna bas ki baat nahi hai. We will just close it. So the Mahabharata Upanishad, such as Shveteshvatara and the Maitrayani Upanishad. Although originally it might have begun as a theistic philosophy with its root in the Upanishads, it appears that subsequently what has happened is it evolved into an atheistic school which assigned no role to God in creation and attribution all causes and effects to nature. So slowly what happened is they started creating. See, even today we have black hole and all they talk scientifically. But Still, they are just finding out what is a black hole is all about and all that. So here also, like, no, everything they need to have a reason for it. So this is the cause, that's why this is the effect. This, so they very comfortably talk. They won't involve God in it. They don't believe in God. According to Sankhya philosophy, Prakriti, the nature, is responsible for all manifestation and diversity. Prakriti is always there, and it is diversifying, man. It is manifesting. Now, while the individual soul, which are eternal, we like individual soul, we are eternal, remain passive. When they come into contact with nature, they become subject to its influence. Naturally, I said, no, as a Atma, we don't get affected. When you take a body, we come into contact with nature, then we get its influence. Prakriti is an eternal reality, and the first cause of the universe is the first found universe. Universe means that's the first Prakriti is being made in its pure original form. It is the unmanifest, avyakta. It is not. It is just there. Not avyakta means what? It is not vyakta hua nahi hai. It is like it is not manifested. It is in unmanifested form. Primal resource, the source of universal energy. It is without cause, but acts as the cause and source of all effects and the ultimate basis of the empirical universe. Now we have the tattvas. There, somehow I'll read, okay, just bear with me. I find very difficult. When I was doing your like 18 days course, I was very unable to, because maybe that was not taught in that way where I can understand better. So even today I learn by myself. I still go and do research and all that. You can also do research to understand better. So that, because it's very difficult to explain, you need to understand that. So the tattvas are our realities. So the total energy of material creation is called Mahat Tattva. The whole thing is called Mahat Tattva or Pradhana, we say. In that word, unmanifested form is there. Okay, that is given earlier also. In the unmanifested states, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Purusha, he is the Purusha. I am the seed-giving father. He says, no, he is the Purusha. Glances over the Mahat Tattva. He has to just glance over the Mahat Tattva and the Pradhana, and the Pradhana becomes the Mahat Tattva impregnates, and everything, all the living things are born. This is how the story, given. And then how it gets agitated by the three gunas. Actually, what material three gunas are there, no? That gets agitated, and with the help of three gunas, and gives birth to the 24 elements. Prakriti manifests things by modifying or transforming the causes into effects, which are already hidden in them. Thus, the school believes, that is a philosophical school, believes in the theory of evolution or transformation. Parinamavada. How Parinama means how it has been developed. This is how they talk. They won't say, Bhagwan ne kiya. They will not accept that. So, using the triple gunas, Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamoguna, and its various realities, tattvas, it creates numerous beings and objects. However, Prakriti has no power or control over the souls, Purushas, which are eternal, numerous, independent, and immutable. It cannot also create life forms without the participation of the soul. But the soul has to come in contact with the nature Prakriti, then only it can create. Creation, that is Srishti, begins when the equilibrium of the gunas, modes in Prakriti, become disturbed and it retaliates. Its realities manifest. According to the school, there are 24 realities, that is 24 tattvas are there, emerge or evolve out of the nature. And what are they? Each having the predominance of one or more gunas. The 24 tattvas are what? Mahat, that is Pradhana, which is all unmanifested state. The Pradhana tattva is there, which has a universal aspect of the source of the world when Sattva is predominant. When Sattva Guna is predominant all over the universe, this has been created. So that is one. So the 24 we have to count, okay, one. The second is what? Mana, man. The man of the whole universe. Man, mind. So the number is all gone wrong. I did upper niche, so the number went wrong. So this will be 1 plus mind is 1. So the 1 plus 1, 2. If the mind was down, I put it up. So the number I forgot to change. Then buddhi. The buddhi is again 1. So add one more. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. Then ahankara, ego. That is I. I am there. Ahamkara is what? Aham. I. That you're conscious of that I-ness. So that is another one. So the feeling of individuality evolves. When Rajas, this happens when Rajas predominates. So this all becomes total 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 4 it becomes. So mana was down. I put it up. I forgot to change it. Okay. These are all what? Subtle tattvas. Now gross tattvas, what are they? From ahankara or ego evolved. One is jnanendriya. 5 jnanendriyas evolved. What are they? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These are Jnanendriyas. Jnanendriya means what? You get knowledge. You see, you get knowledge. You hear knowledge. Shruti. The nose, you get knowledge. You know, pleasant smell. Oh, dirty smell. You come to know. Tongue, taste. So you come to know. Skin. All these factors are what? Jnana Indriyas. You get knowledge acquiring senses. Then 5 Karmendriyas. Karma. For action. These Indriyas. There's what act. These bodies are formed. What are they? Hands, legs, mouth, rectum, and genitals. That is 5. So add 5, it becomes 14. Then add 5 more. That is tanmatras, subtle elements or object of senses. Sparsha, rasa, rupa, gandha, shabda. So sparsha is what? Touch, sparsha. And rasa, what a taste. Then rupa, form. And gandha. Gandha is smell. And shabda is sound. So these 5 are created. So that is 19. Very philosophical. Okay, don't blame me and all. Oh, what Mathaji is teaching and all. Don't say I'm not teaching. I'm just reading whatever is there. So I am still learning. The next is 5 Mahabhutas, gross elements. That is earth, water, air, fire. We saw, no? We are made of that 5 elements. That. So 19 plus 5, 24. These are the 24 elements in the whole creation. Okay. So earth is the first least. Earth is the first least subtle because we can see, we can touch, we can smell, and we can feel. So we can do everything. The earth is seen and smelled and everything can be done. So that is the least because it's processed. We can say that way also. It is a processed. Then water is the second least subtle. It can be seen, touched, felt, but cannot be smelled. आजकल तो smell भी आ जाता है पानी में. Gutter ka pani mein, give bad smell. But in general, water doesn't have any smell. Then fire. Fire is the third least. And it has what? We can see and feel, but you can't touch and smell it. And then air. Air is the fourth least subtle because we can feel. Air you can only feel, but you can't see, touch, or smell. Then ether, that is the empty space. Is the most subtle because you cannot see it, neither see, nor touch, nor smell, nor feel. These are all philosophical. Okay, again, I'm saying it is not related to our next 13th chapter is so hard. 14th is going to be like that. No. This is only in 13th chapter it comes. And after this, almost the whole chapter is like this. But this is what is, I thought of telling you. But don't worry, this will not be, taught in any of the classes. I just took it in level 2. Yes, level 2, it will be taught. So better to know, kabhi to suna tha level 1 mein. Now I know better. So when you go to level 2, from next week onwards, so you will be thorough with it. Yeah, something we learned in the level 1. Like that, you will have a feeling. Okay. So all this, they constitute 24 tattvas. Together with Purusha, that is individual soul, who is an eternal reality, produce a diversity in the world. Of them, Prakriti is without a cause. Mahat, Ahankara, and the 10 Tanmantras are both cause and effect that we read. So the natural evolution of things and beings are suggested in Sankhya school, was founded by Kapila. Has many parallels in the modern theories of evolution. It is more or less people who are more interested in science and all, they will like. I'm not a scientist. Science background nahi hai. I don't have the science background. So I don't take any interest in this. I don't like it also. So people who are into science and black hole and this and that, they may like, So it is more or less there's like modern theories of evolution, which focus mainly upon the evolution of physical bodies over many lifetimes. Further, it views evolution or transformation of causes into effects and not as miracle work of God. So this I did some homework. This I will just close it. Oh, I've come out of it. Okay, then from 8 to 12 is a big, 5 verses are there. We'll just see what is given. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshanti rajavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigrahah indriyateshu vairagyam anahankare evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam asaktir anabishvanga putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishta anishta upapattishu मयि चानन्य योगेन भक्तिर अव्यभिचारिणी विविक्त देश सेवित्वं मरतिर्जन संसदि अध्यात्म ज्ञान नित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानात् दर्शनम् एतद् ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यत् अतो अन्यथा. This is the jnanam. Other than this, nothing is jnanam, he says. These are, what is this? We didn't understand, so we will go inside and see. It is written here, but not very clear. We'll go to the next slide. All elaborate only. This chapter is full elaborate thing. Humility. What is all given in that? Amanitvam madambitvam. What is that? Humility. Humility is what? Amanitvam. Sanskrit word is amanitvam. What is that? Not to be anxious or to have satisfaction of being honored. Don't feel somebody has to honor me, then I will feel satisfied. Don't give much importance to honor, dishonor, and all. Then pridelessness. You should not be proud of anything. Understanding you are not the body, and thus honor and dishonor are the same. Anybody honor, dishonor? I mean, so similar things only. Non-violence. We normally say don't hurt anybody. That is non-violence. But in spiritual this, it is what? Unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. If you are not helping others in spiritual practice, then we are actually harming them. We are doing violence. So we have to do non-violent way, bring your neighbors and friends and your cousins and relatives to join Bhagavad Gita and let them learn. Everybody let them, at least you tell 10 people, 2 people may come, 2 people may join, at least that 1 person may come. He may come one day, he may not come on 5 days. And at the end of the day, oh, what boring there, I didn't understand. We didn't come only any of the days. But we have to do our duty of telling people, please join. This is a free course. Please join. And all other, religion, they practice so well, I don't know, only we have this problem of learning Bhagavad Gita. So we have to change that. And we have to start making people, make people understand the value of this and create interest. Then next is what? Tolerance. Kshantihi. What is that? Be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. Don't feel bad if somebody is insulting you. Tolerate. Then simplicity. Arjavam. So much straightforward that you can disclose the truth even to an enemy. If it is true, whoever it may be in front of you, you have to speak the truth. That is what is simplicity. Approaching a bona fide spiritual master. Acharya Upasana. This is essential. In the spiritual, when you have to be in the spiritual path, you need to have a guru to guide you. Then cleanliness, shaucham, that is bathing for external cleanliness, and chanting is for internal cleanliness. Chitta shuddhi ho jata hai. And you keep chanting water. I told about that polka basket, no? It goes and get water in that basket of, polka basket. What happens after 5-6 rounds? What happens is the basket becomes clean. So the same way you keep chanting. What happens? I didn't understand anything. 7 months I'm not attending Bhagavad Gita class. What did you understand? Nothing. But at least your chitta will become shuddhi. How do you know? It happens. At least you'll think good about everybody. You'll not have that old angry thing. Whatever you had, that vices, that will go away from you. So that changes, at least you'll know, if not understand the Bhagavad Gita part. Then steadiness, thairyam. That is what? Determined to make progress in spiritual life. Then self-control, atma vinigraha. Reject anything unfavorable to spiritual advancement. Control the senses. Renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Indriya arteshu vairagya. Anything is there to please your senses, eyes or ears. It's there waiting to please your eyes and ears and skin and any mouth and. But you be take care that it is all maya. So not to cater to unnecessary demands. Gratified only to keep body fit for devotional service. We need to take care of our body just to do devotional service. Yes, that much we can eat, we can sleep. And all this chapter, next chapter, we'll talk about that. What time you have to get up, how much you can sleep, what all you can eat. Everything we'll discuss. I didn't say anything. Bhagwan has given. So Bhagavad Gita mein likha hai, that only I will teach. Then absence of false ego. Anahankara. Reject I am the body or mind. Accept that I am Krishna's servant. That's all. Don't think I'm the body. Don't give importance to your body. Just say, I am Krishna's servant. I need to be the servitor of the Lord. The perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease. This is there always. A child is born. Yes, he's born. He will grow. He will get disease. And one day he will die. This is the cycle has to be there. And you should be aware of it. Regularly hear about these from the proper source. Become disgusted with material life. Then you will understand, oh, then why a person is born. He has to undergo all this trouble. Then he has to die also. But that is how it is. Detachment, asaktihi. Be ready to sacrifice everything for Krishna. Then freedom from entanglement, the children, wife, home, and the rest. Anabishvanga, putradhara, grihadishu. Means what? All should be, all should be following, all the members of the family should be following Krishna consciously. Else, you can renounce it. You can say tata bye-bye to them. You part your ways and Because if they are not following, what to do? Then we have to be in that path, no? So you try to make them change their way. I mean, not at young age. I'm talking about the people who are much elder and elderly people. Even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events. Nityam cha samachittatvam ishta anishta upapati. Ishta, anishta means I like and I dislike. You should never no disparity. Nityam cha samachittatvam. Be in a sama darshana. Not elated or distressed at material gain or loss by performing unbreakable devotions. Continue your devotional service like japa and getting up early. I don't know how many people are getting up. Every day I'm saying just get up early to see the Lord's Aarti and all. Will make you good. Then constant and unalloyed devotional service. Ananya yogena bhakti. You need to, today Sunday, no, I will not do. Because Sunday is holiday in my job also. Everywhere they give holiday. So for bhakti also holiday, no. For bhakti, in fact, you should do more. Because you have no other commitment to do. So you can show bhakti more. Go to ISKCON temple and do all the jadu pocha and help them in cooking. You can do any sort of job, thing to make Lord happy. That day is entirely should be offered for the Lord. Engaging oneself in the 9 process of bhakti. Yesterday or day before yesterday we saw all the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all the till Pada Sevanam, till Atma Samarpanam. Then aspiring to live in a solitary place. Vivikta Desha Sevitum. Why it is always said that not desiring to mix with materialistic people. Most of the people are materialistic. You know what? I bought a mobile. You know what? I bought this dress. I bought this, I bought this, I bought this, I bought this. It is at a cheaper rate too. More, make us more, angry. So let us be away from all this materialistic people. That's why be alone. Or have a sadhu sangha. Live in the association of devotees. That is allowed. Then detachment from the general mass of people, same thing, meaning same. Arati jana samshadi, as above. Accepting the importance of self-realization. Adhyatma jnana, atma and body, uska jnanam. So give up unnecessary sporting, cinema going, non-devotional social activities. Avoid wasting time. These are all wastage of time. Even politics, whatever they do, we keep talking about them. It's a wastage of time. Nothing is going to improve. If it improves, good luck to us or our next generation. Unnecessarily we talk about them, because nothing is going to happen. And then philosophical search for the absolute truth. Tattva jnana, artha darshanam. We need to have the philosophical search also about the fact. Then rejection of useless research and philosophical topics. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be, is ignorance. This is what God says. Okay. So whoever is the student here, geography, history and all, only for the sake of learning and to get a certificate or marks, you learn. Otherwise, that is not going to help us in future. Only this will help us. How? That only time will tell. It will help us in the next birth also. That also, I mean, in some shloka it comes out. Nyayam yattat prabhakshyami yajñatvamritam ashnute anadi matparam brahma nasattan nasat uchyate. I shall now explain the noble, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. What is there to explain? Nothing. He is going to talk about Brahman, the first stage of understanding God. Brahman, then Paramatma. That he is going to explain. He is going to explain, he says. I don't want to skip all this shloka because it's all important also, but there's nothing to explain. So we have to learn. Sarvendriya guna bhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam, ashaktam sarva, dhrichaiva, nirgunam guna bhoktricha. The super soul is the original source of all the senses. Paramatma form, the super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He's the tricky, we say, that shlokas, many shlokas are like that. He is there, but he's not there. How will you conceive that? How can you understand that? You have to understand. The super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached. Although he is the maintainer of all living beings, he transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all the modes. All the 3 modes, he is the master of it. He has transcended, but no modes can affect him. He has created the 3 modes. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? You can't speak, no? It's okay. After a long time, that message came. Anyway. Bahir antascha bhutanam acharam charam evacha sukshmatvatat avigneyam dhurastam chantike chatat. The supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings. How inside? As a Paramatma, as a outside, as is there pervaded everywhere. We just saw in 10th and 11th chapter how he shows his, rupa. He's pervaded the entire universe. So he's there everywhere. He has created the universe. He's there also. He's there in Goloka Vrindavan. He's there residing in our heart also. So supreme truth exists. Supreme truth, that is God, exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and non-moving beings. Because he is subtle, he is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away in Goloka Vrindavan, I showed you the chart, no? Goloka chart, where he is living, far away from all that material world. But he is far, far away, still he is also near to all. How to understand? Like that only. As a Paramatma is residing in us, but we need to go there to his abode, which is far, far away from us. Yes. Jyotisham apitat jyotis tamasapparam uchyate jnanam yeyam jan jnanagamyam vridi sarvasya visthitam. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. Any luminous object has light, he is in the light form. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. And then his knowledge. His knowledge, whatever we are learning, the knowledge itself is Veda. What is Veda? It is the knowledge about all the scriptural studies. It is been derived, it has been created by him. It is written about him. And after learning all that, way you go to the Lord only. You reach his abode only. So his knowledge, his the object of knowledge, and is the whole of knowledge. Everything is, in and around with him only. So he is situated in everyone's heart. He is situated in everyone's heart. Nothing to be taught, but then he's there. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yeah. Then next, I'll just keep it like this only. Started, misbehaving. Okay. Iti kshetram tata jnanam nyayam choktam samasatah madbhakta etad vijnana madbhavayo papadyate. Thus the field of activities. Oh, finally we come. Thus the field of activities. Wherever this field, we say, the body, it comprises of so many things. And all these days we think with only the body. All these factors are there. Slowly you are going inside Bhagavad Gita. So thus the field of activity, the body, knowledge, and the noble have been summarily described by me. He says summarily. This is too much for us to take it. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. Who are his devotees, they can understand totally well. We are also bhaktas only, but then this is our first time learning 18 days course, so it's okay. So when you do for the second time in September, you will understand more better. Okay. Then next. Prakritim Purusham Saiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi Vikaram Sagunam Saiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. We living entities and material nature, it doesn't have a date of birth to be born like that. We are always there. The same way Prakriti is also always there. The transformation and the modes of matter are products of material nature. And then Karya Karana Kartritve Hetu Prakriti Uchyate Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktritve Hetu Uchyate. Nature is said to be the cause of all material activities and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. We will all come in contact with the Prakriti, and along with that all gunas, 3 gunas that affect us, and we suffer or we enjoy everything because of that guna. So whereas the living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyments in this world, because we come into that effect of the material activities. Oh, sorry. Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhunte Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Guna Sangosya Sadasavyoni Janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the 3 modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil amongst various species. They are similar. I think how to look similar. 21 and 22 is very much similar. So we come in contact with the nature and the 3 gunas, and accordingly we face the unhappiness or happiness, everything is depending on that. Then 23. Upadrashtanumantascha bharta bhokta maheshwarah paramatmeti chapyukto dehe asmin purushapara. Yet in this body there is another transcendental enjoyer who is all this time we were talking about Atma, the Jivatma only. Now there's another entity who is there in our in our body is Paramatma. Yet in the body there is another a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as an overseer, watching everything. All our moves have been watched. We can't, do any action without his consent to him. Without his knowledge, we can't do anything. He knows what we are doing, and without his consent also, we cannot do. He allows us to do. He is overseer and permitter, and who is known as super soul. So that is also, super soul is also there in everybody. Where was I? This I think, this super soul. Yeah. ये वंवेति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयो abhijayate. One who understands this philosophy concerning the material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. So for us, very difficult to take it, but we will go one day. I mean, this is also a philosophical point. If you know it thoroughly well, then you are also sure to attain the get liberation. You are sure to attain reach the God's abode. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. Yeah. Dhyane atmani pashyanti kechit atmanam atmana anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. Some perceive the super soul within themselves through meditation. So meditate on the Lord. On the Lord who? On the Paramatma form. So some people just meditate, sit and just form ko. You just take it, observe it, and they just do meditation on it. Others through the cultivation of knowledge. Many people study, learn scriptures, understanding Lord and totally engrossed in that. And still others through working without fruitive desires. They will do everything for the Lord and without any expecting any result. But all these people are worship Paramatma in different ways. Anye, still there are some more people. Anye tvevam ajanantah shrutvanyeebhya upasate te api chatiranti eva mrityum shruti parayanaha. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, like me, including me also, I was not conversant with so much of knowledge. So what we did, we learned from somebody. Some teacher is there, she's teaching. Okay, again attend next month. Again you attend next month and go to level 2, level 3, and slowly you gain knowledge. So again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. So such people who learn from others, they will also cross this ocean of birth and death, this, the cycle. They will also escape and they will leave, they will reach God's abode. Yavat sanjayate kinchit satsam sthavara jangamam kshetrajna samyogat tad vidhi bharatarshava. O chief of Bharatas, whatever you see in existence, both moving and non-moving, is only the combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. This is what is there. So this basic theory you all need to understand. You should see in that angle. Whether is a field of activity, there is a place. This is repeated in 18th chapter also, you get the same topic. And the knower of the field. Yes. Okay. I think this is the last one. No. So 4 are there. Okay. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyattasva avinashyantam yapashyati sa pashyati. Who is seeing? What is actually seen? This is the actual scene. What? One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies. What are we able to see? We are seeing each individual soul in each different types of body. Also, there is Paramatma residing in each individual. If you see that from that angle, then one who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understand that neither the soul nor the super soul, when the destructible body is ever destroyed, if the body gets destroyed, the super soul and this soul actually, it doesn't get die, it doesn't get die, it doesn't die. So, and if you know about that fact, he is the actual seer. You see, seer. So such person is actually seeing what the fact as it is. Yeah. Samam pashyanhi sarvatra samavasthitam ishwaram nahinasti atmanatmanam tatoyati paramgatim. But then who is the other seer? One who sees the super soul equally present everywhere, in every living being, does not degrade himself by his mind. He doesn't hurt himself. Some people observe fast. They won't eat food or what, drink water also. They will hurt themselves. No. So even by mind also, they will not hurt themselves. They won't degrade because he is very sure Paramatma is also, I am hurting Paramatma also. Thus he approaches the transcendental destiny who doesn't hurt in every person who understands this, there Paramatma is there in every living being, does not degrade himself by his mind. And thus, such people approaches the transcendental destination. They will also reach God's abode. Okay. Then one more seer. Who is he? Prakrityaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvasha yapashyati tadatmanam akartaram sapashyati. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature. Our body is created of material nature. Is the soul responsible for it? No, soul cannot do anything. Body is doing, but and sees that self does nothing. Actually, only sees. It's only seeing. It is making the body do everything. So whatever is done, action, it is all done by the body. Again, is the body actually doing? No, it is only because of the three modes. Okay. Yata sarvagatam saukshmyat akasham nopalipyate sarvatra vastito dehe tatatma nopalipyate. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman, Vishan, does not mix with the body, though situated in that body. How to explain this? I don't understand. Soul doesn't get mixed. It has a different entity. It cannot do anything. It is using the body to do everything. And it is like a sky. It doesn't get mixed in anything. When it is situated in Brahman platform, it does not mix with the body. Though situated in the body, it doesn't get mixed with the body. Because see, when the body leaves the body, it doesn't have any attachment towards the body. Only 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, it is there in one body. So when the body becomes old and it getting all repair and nothing is working, all the parts are gone under repair. It leaves the body, it goes to another body. It has no attachment to it. So it is different. It is absolutely, it has no attachment to the body. It stays for so long. Then yata prakashayat yati eka kritsnam lokam imam ravihi kshetram kshetri tata kritsnam prakashayati bharata, O son of Bharata. As the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity. So the living entity, what we as a body, we are all acting so much, we are talking, thinking, because of that spirit, that this soul is there inside us. So does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness because of the soul. Soul is acting like a consciousnness. How sun, when the sun rises in what? We turn ourselves to the sun. Then the entire world, entire country becomes, or place becomes illuminated the same way. Because of the soul is there inside our body, it illuminates and we get all the power, and it is like, it illumines our body with consciousness. We are all conscious of that. And last shloka. Kshetra kshetrajnayorevam mantaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. Those who see with the eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in the material nature, attain to the supreme goal. So once you should have all this knowledge, the entire chapter is total philosophical. Today we just started with 13th chapter, but no, 14th chapter will be interesting. 15th is still thick. Like, you can understand, but you cannot, little philosophical. Then afterwards, there is no philosophical, but this chapter was really tough. Yeah, so I don't know how much I could explain, because I myself is not that very convinced with 13th chapter. Every time I learn and every time I get new meaning out of it. Yes, we'll end it, all the shlokas are done. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogo Nama Trayodasho Dhyaya. So we just do the summary part. Arjuna wants to know about Prakriti, nature, Purisha, the enjoyer, Kshetra, the field, Kshetrajna, the knower of the field, Jnana, knowledge, and Yeya, object of knowledge. Krishna explains that Kshetra is the conditioned soul's field of activity, the body. Within it resides both the living entity and the Supreme Lord, who are called Kshetrajna, because they understand what is this body. The knowers of the field. The Jnana, knowledge, means understanding the body, understanding of the body and its knowers. Knowledge involves qualities such as humility, non-violence. That only took a lot of time. Humility, non-violence, tolerance, cleanliness, self-control, absence of false ego, and even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events. Then Nyaya, what is the object of knowledge? What are we going to learn about? Is the super soul. We are going to learn, we learn about the super soul. Prakriti, nature is the cause of all material causes and effects. The two Purushas or enjoyers are the living entity and the super soul. We both are enjoying the Prakriti. A person who can see that the individual soul and the super soul remain unchanged throughout the various states of material bodies, they successfully inhabit and it is and is said to possess the vision of eternity. By understanding the difference between the body and the knower of body, and by understanding the process of liberation from material bondage, one reaches the supreme good. This was 13th chapter ka summary. Tomorrow it will be interesting. The liberation and condition of living entity. How can we liberate from this conditioned mode that we learn? Description of the binding of the pure soul by the three modes. How our soul is got bounded by the three modes. Sattva-guna is also binding. Rajo-guna is also binding. Tamo-guna is also binding. So how to then come out of it? That also we will learn. Then recognizing the supremacy mode within a person. So that is how you have to transcend these modes and go away from it. Go towards the Lord. That is Shuddha Bhakti, Shuddha Sattva Nila. Then actions and death within the modes. So a person is Sattva-guna, what action he does, and how he dies and all that, and what action when he's alive, what actions he do, and after death also what happens to him. Then transcending the modes. All these three modes have to be transcended. How it is done. All the three modes, how they do it. So this is what tomorrow will be some more interesting. It will be. So you all be present. It won't be as boring as today's chapter and very lengthy for us. Okay, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Open the lock. Can go to the next one. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Vanja kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki.
Yay.
Sleeping, I think you are not interested in this chapter. I can make out. I myself was not interested in 13th. The 13th itself is like, I feel, oh God. Unlucky number. You normally say, no, it's not unlucky and all, but in general, but that chapter itself is very dry. It is. Anyway, Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Anandakoti Bhakta Vrinda ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Ramdas Thakur ki. Krishna Mahamantra ki. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Granth ki. Radha Govind ki. Premanande. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
To do this chapter is like that. I'm feeling helpless. Can't make it still more interesting. I mean, you have to learn. 13 chapters like that. Okay. So have better what to do when such a situation. Oh, I have to close that. I forgot to stop recording.